Okay, down here on the first floor of City Hall, they've got kind of a little mini museum. It's going to be really difficult to go through and explain everything, especially in this short video. But
so here, this is Calle Real, or the Royal Street in Spanish. Royal Street, Real, Royal. And, that used to be, well, maybe the 1910s or earlier, because there are no vehicles yet, just carriages and horses. And this is how it looks now. And this used to be the main street, like it used to be like the center of business of the city.
I can see that, yeah, that's what it looks like. And then here's your port community, original.
Right, and this is how the situation used to be. Here you have a picture of the train, and here water transport. And this is how it looks now.
And this photograph here was from Life magazine.
Right, right. And then also
this one here.
Yeah,
this is the Harrow Bell Tower that I've given you pictures on.
Right.
And if you'll notice in the videos that I showed you already in the past, you see a lot of huge trees.
Right.
But in this picture here, this is a picture I've been looking to show you folks, is the people would get up on top of the bell tower and they would watch for the Moro Islamic raiders as they were coming up, so they could holler to the church down here, let the people know they were coming.
And then they would ring the bell, so
of course,
the entire community
knows. And that was actually the bell for the church at one time.
Right.
And now the church has its own bells.
Right. And because now the church looks like this.
Right. I have a video of a renovation going on right now of the priest's quarter, but there's no trees here, so they could see a long way.
Right. Right.
And then what do you have up here?
Here, it also
the main intersection.
The main intersection. It's called the Plazoleta Guy, and it's the Iloilo equivalent, or the rough equivalent of Shibuya crossing in Tokyo, because there's a lot of pedestrians crossing here. On busy hours, like during rush hour, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people, and there's a lot of businesses here. This is how it used to be. The street here is the Desma Street, and there used to be a lot of electric poles. Now it's all trees.
Yeah.
There used to be a movie theater here. There used to be corporate offices here, and now there are small shops.
And they have the Filipino, Chinese American, or Chinese arch.
Yes.
Right there near that intersection.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to move through here a little quicker, I think, because of the length of time on here. But this is a nice historic spot. If you've got time to come down to City Hall and take a look at it.
We have to be really quick, because
this is nice.
It's closed right now, but we're just given a chance to go over the exhibits here. And this used to be these are the costumes
from the festival.
Okay, the information about the Dinagang Festival can be found online, and we don't need to dwell on that here for long. But as you can see, it's really about as you can see, the costumes here, they look like warriors. They are actually supposed to portray warriors, and they're supposed to portray warriors who welcomed a separate tribe from another island, Borneo Island, who came to the island of Panay, where Iloilo is situated, and they were welcomed by these black warriors.
And these were actually people that lived here. These were the actual tribesmen.
The first settlers of this island, they're called the Aboriginals, and it's supposed to, the festival is supposed to portray a welcoming dance for them. So that was supposed to happen before the arrival of the Spanish.
Okay.
Right. That was supposed to portray. And over here, well, this does not portray warriors, but this is costumes of the Parao Regatta Festival. The Parao Regatta is actually about sailing competition. If you can turn over here, right? Opposite side. This is the Parao. These are the scale models of the Parao Regatta Festival. So it's a sailing competition, and normally it's not only a sailing competition, but they have to have colorful boats like this. They paint the sails with art. And so it's about the best looking boat with the best art, and also the boat which first was able to cross
The finish
line.
Okay.
Right.
Are these all part of the same deals, or are these different kinds of
Well,
boats?
these are just concepts.
Oh, okay. More art pieces.
Yeah, but the actual festival features this kind of boats, actually.
And that still goes on, doesn't
It
it?
still goes on. It's held every March of the year. So
Okay.
after the Dinagyang Festival.
So you see, folks, there's always something going on here.
Yeah, almost every month there seems to be some festival.
Right.
January, Dinagyang Festival, and also the Chinese New Year. February, it's the fiesta of the Our Lady of Candles, or the Candelaria. March is the Paraw Regatta. And April, May, I'm not really familiar, but there are other smaller fiestas.
Fiesta's going on all the time with the different barangas.
Right.
And these are all trophies and awards
Right.
for a lot of hard work.
Right.
Now, back here is a picture of the Iloilo River snaking through the city. And then more history.
And it features here the districts of Iloilo City. It's like in the States you have the many boroughs of New York.
Right.
You've got Manhattan, you've got Staten Island, Queens, the Bronx. So it's like this also in Iloilo. You've got the city proper, the downtown area. You've got the Haro district, you've got the Lapus district, the Molo district, the La Paz district, Mandurriao, and Arevalo. They each have their own history, but we can't discuss it in length here because we're short on time. But to give an overview, all of the districts from Haro to Lapus, La Paz, Molo, Mandurriao, Arevalo, they used to be separate towns. When the Americans came during the American colonial period, these towns were consolidated into one city, and they were made into Iloilo City.
That's interesting.
That is why for each district there is a big church with a big plaza.
Because they were own cities, they had their own church.
Right, and they have their own municipal halls.
Okay.
And they have their own mayors, and they have their own council members.
And then each one of these cities, there's 7 of them, these 7 districts here.
7 districts.
They're made up of many barangays.
Or villages.
And so Haro, the one I'm going to try to do some more video on for you, they've got almost 50 barangays within Haro alone. So there's quite a few barangays in Iloilo City.
And over here are the mayors who dominated political life in the city before.
I recognize some of these names,
Yeah,
Lopez,
Lopez, yeah.
and then Haladone.
Halandoni.
Yeah, and there's streets named after these folks.
Right, right.
And the Lopez was vice president at one time, one of the Lopezes. There's a big clan or family of the Lopezes. A lot of history, a lot of culture here. And Jed Patrick Malabag, our current president, or mayor.
Yeah, his name is Jed Patrick Mabilog.
Mabilog.
Yeah, and this one here is the textile, pineapple fiber, made by Jackie Peñalosa. The city is trying to revive the textiles here in Iloilo, especially this one because it is made of pineapple fiber.
Pineapple.
And they're trying to revive it because it's part of the heritage and the history of the city and of the province.
Is that the textile, primary textile was pineapple fiber?
Yes.
Back when Iloilo got started?
That's it. And now they're trying to update it to adapt it to the new fashion. And
Okay.
they're trying to show that, you know, it can be made into a modern look, right? So not just a traditional Filipino costume or dress, but it can also be made into
Contemporary,
like modern designs. One of the designers is Jackie Peñalosa, and she's pretty much well known here in the city. And also here you have the scale model of the City Hall. and the surrounding areas, and also the Plaza Libertad.
That's where we were just
The
a few
church
minutes
also.
ago.
Yeah.
And we're downstairs in the new City Hall there.
Right.
How long has this building been completed?
I think this was opened in 2012.
2012, so it's a new building, 2 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, well this is a little mini tour. If you get a chance to come into Iloilo and get downtown, then be sure to get over to City Hall and come in here and look at some of this history.
That's this one, Mike, is the scale model of the Lin Ai.
On the top of this
On the
building?
top, yeah, this is what she actually looks like if you take a look from Guimaras Island. As I said earlier, she's holding here rice stalks, and here
There's
the
a
sickle.
okay.
And she represents the city and the province. And yeah, here there's the right of the history here.
If you want to freeze frame it, you can read this.
Right.
Hit your pause button so you can read it. But this is interesting about the statue on top of the building here. And I'll pan over here and let you read this, and then you can freeze frame it. And these are for those of you who know Ilongo.
Right. It's a song. I think it's the official hymn of the city.
Okay, the city song.
Right. I'm not really familiar with it. Okay. It's a complicated Ilongo. Maybe I'll try to translate it someday. But
Okay.
not now. Not in this video.
Okay, and the Harbor Festival, I think that's what's going on right now. Yeah, that's what they're working on. They're setting up
On
for
Friday. On February.
2nd, right. It's also known as their festival, I think.
And this is the sailboat race.
That's the race that we were talking about earlier with the pretty boats.
And then because there are many Chinese businessmen here and Chinese merchants, we also celebrate the Chinese New Year.
That's great.
Right.
It's a lot of good information.
And here also you have here photos of the festival. Like this, they are supposed to be warriors. And you have here the shield and then the spear. Like this, they're holding the spear, then the shield.
Okay.
And that's why in the videos, sometimes you see them flailing their arms.
Right.
It does not have, to the untrained observer, it will look like it has no meaning, but actually there's meaning. Because if you see them dancing with flailing arms, it means they're trying to interpret their movements along with the shield and the spear.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Now I've seen this, somebody else was dancing in the beginning. What does this little doll represent?
This is the image of the child Jesus. So because the festival has been adopted by the Catholic Church and has been made to become a religious event, and it's supposed to be about celebrating the life of the child Jesus also. That's why it coincides on the 4th Sunday of January.
Oh, okay.
Or the feast day of the child Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, and other pictures also like this, the warriors also of another tribe. I think they're called Tribo Paghidaet. In English it means tribe of peace. And they're portraying eagles, and right, so that's one of the many aspects of the festival.
In American Indians, some of your, I think the warriors or tribes would have eagles for the whoever that was in charge of the tribe. They
Right.
wore eagles. Okay. Symbol of power. Americans got the eagle for their national bird.
Right.
Okay, well that's going to do us here for this little small museum. Actually, it's pretty good size in here, but there's a lot of history. So be sure you get yourself in here and take a look at it. It's free, and they'll let you walk through during business hours. We just happened to get lucky. It's a holiday, but they were nice enough to let us in.
Accommodating.
Very accommodating. The Ilongo way.